you want to feel like you're good enough and that you're worthy of love and that you belong, this video is going to talk about tools that you can use to build your self-worth and self-validation, things that I use, and hopefully you can do them too. If you haven't checked out part 1 of this video, then I will definitely link it at the end. It will share more tools that you can use to validate yourself and build your self-worth. The first tool that I used to build my self-worth and validate myself was learning from my mistakes. Learning from your mistakes is a crucial step in growing and self-development. Instead of beating yourself up over the mistakes that you make, look at them as learning opportunities for knowing what not to do in the future. Subsequently, it's going to teach you what to do in those future situations or similar situations. We all make mistakes. I'm not going to lie. I look back over some of the things that I've did in life and I'm just like, whoa. There are a lot of mistakes that I made that I'm not proud of, but I don't dwell on them because as we learn, as we get older, as we grow, we change into a different person. We change into hopefully our highest self. In order for you to get there, you have to make mistakes along the way. There is no success without failures, without mistakes. Even million has 2 L's in it, so you're gonna take some L's. Just be prepared. It's okay to make mistakes, learn from the mistakes, and move on in life. Don't dwell on them and don't beat yourself up over it. The second tool that I used to validate myself and to build self-worth was taking responsibility. So many times in life, we blame Sally, Jane, Joe, Henry, Enrique, everybody, the world, the government, but ourselves. And to a certain extent, we are in control of our lives. We make the choices that we choose to make in life. So if you've made choices that you aren't particularly proud of, that you don't align with anymore, then make better choices. Understand that you made those choices. Forgive yourself for making those choices and move on with life. Be accountable for your actions and know that just as you made those wrong choices, you can turn around and make positive, better choices. Just as you would take ownership of those mistakes, of those failures, take ownership of your successes. Be proud of the good things that you've done, the positive things that you've done, the right things that you have done in life. Hold your head up high and embrace that success. Take ownership of your success. Don't let other people take credit for your work. Now, don't take it to the extreme, depending on what the situation is, but be proud of your work. And don't let others take credit for your work. Take responsibility and take ownership of your successes, just as you want to take ownership of your mistakes. That creates a nice balance. The third tool that I use to build self-worth and self-validation is to focus on my strengths. So many times we do that negative self-talk, which I talked about in the first video, and we focus on everything that's wrong either in our lives or with ourselves. And if you go check out one of my videos on self-love, you will see that we all have flaws, and I even talked about some of the flaws that I have, but we focus on those flaws instead of focusing on the strengths. And we have to focus on what we have going and take the time to create opportunities and find our purpose in those strengths, those talents that either we have stumbled across or we know that we've had them since we can remember. As you focus on your strengths, work on being confident in those strengths and displaying those strengths, displaying those talents. Be bold and go after what you want and work on being confident in what you want. And if you're not sure what you want, you're not sure what those talents are, maybe ask a friend or a family member and ask them what you're good at, and they will let you know, because sometimes we're so blinded by our own imperfections and our own self-doubt that we don't realize that there are very, very good things that are about us, as well as the things that we might need to improve on and grow on. I encourage you to go to the person that you think knows you the best and ask them what your strengths are, what your talents are, and what you can do to become more confident in displaying those strengths and talents. Before we move to the next tool, if these tips are resonating with you and you plan to use them in your life, definitely hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that you'll be notified when new videos are uploaded of positive affirmation and encouragement content. The next tool that I use to build self-worth and validate myself is surrounding myself with positive people. And this is very, very important because when you have people in your circle, in your life, in your ear that are talking negative to you, it's gonna breed negativity within yourself. They are draining you emotionally, draining you mentally. That's not good for building your self-worth and validating yourself, because you want someone to tell you those good things. You want friends to highlight those good things about you, whether they're big or small, because that helps with your confidence. If you have someone that's always telling you how you don't do this right or don't do that right, or you're always making this mistake, or you have this imperfection, eventually it's gonna program your mind to think that way. But if you have people who are uplifting, who are positive, who are always praising you no matter what, or they're giving you that validation, eventually that validation is going to rub off on you. It's going to restructure your mindset, give that shift in the mindset, and it's going to breed positivity within your mind. And this is what you want. You want people who are going to uplift you, who are going to make you feel better, even though you have to breed this sense of feeling better within yourself. But as you're just starting off and building that self-worth, that validation, and that confidence, having people in your corner is going to be the best jolt to get that self-validation and self-worth building and going. If you found these tools helpful and you resonated with them, definitely check out the next video on self-love, or watch that part 1 video if you haven't checked that out, about more tools for self-worth and building self-validation.